Okay, everybody, so here is the video we told you about. For those of you watching our other videos, we said, stay tuned, this one's coming up. So this here is a seat, helmet, and backrest that we did a while back. Customer had a totally different bike. This seat just happens to fit on his new bike. And obviously it doesn't go with the bike. So we have a new material that we're gonna be doing to make it look cool. And then he wants us to, again, redo his helmet. So one thing is, you'll hear me a lot of times with this custom material, like this is a Louis Vuitton material, and the real stuff is very expensive and it's real nice. This one I'll have to show you with the camera. It's actually ripped here. So a lot of times I don't like to use this material because it's kind of like a tablecloth material, but we don't warranty it. We'll do it for you if you send it in, but it is what it is. So now he has a new material he got. We don't provide this material because I can't warranty it. He actually found it online, and the new material is a lot better than this material. So we're gonna go through and redo the seat. We do have to modify the seat because this is pushing forward a little bit, and he actually wants to go forward a little bit. So we're gonna notch this out and move it forward, and then rewrap everything, including another helmet for the rear passenger. So without further ado, let's get going. Now, I'm not gonna go through and do a helmet tutorial on this. I will say I don't like doing helmets. I never did. I don't like doing saddlebags. I don't like doing the whips. I don't like doing grips. I like doing motorcycle seats. But for some of our customers that are reoccurring customers, we do what we have to make them happy. I do think it's funny because I am like a very self-conscious type person. I don't know how people ride around with matching helmets and all this stuff. I would feel so like out of place. So I would say I'm jealous of people like that, but it's amazing that they could do all that. So I'm just gonna go through and we're just pulling this back a little. We're not gonna take it apart. What I'm doing is just trying to see roughly if our patterns would work with this, because these are, again, I don't enjoy doing these things, and it does not look like it's gonna work. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to go and actually repattern this one completely. I'll reuse our pattern for this. I know it works for this helmet, but this helmet, we're gonna have to pattern. What's tough is, so like this happens a lot, and it's like if you don't do this for a living or you don't know, there's things that people say that don't work. So like he's like, just upholster over these little rhinestone things here. And the problem is you can't. When we go over these, I mean, we could probably put foam over it and then go over it, but then you have a really padded helmet, which doesn't look right. So if you try to go over this with material, it's gonna have air pockets everywhere. Just like if you were to put vinyl graphics over rivets on a car trailer or a motorcycle trailer, you'll have like air pockets, and then you can heat them and do whatever. And sometimes they go away for a little bit, but they always come back. So what I think we're gonna have to do is take these out. Let's see how good they come out. Man, they're in there. Yeah, not that good. So we're gonna pop all these things out and then fill this with actually plastic weld. And never use your tucker like I am, because that's not what it's made for. What's really nice is when you're reupholstering something you already upholstered and you don't have to change the patterns, it's a lot quicker. So we could just go through, and again, as you watch our videos, you see us do this all the time. We could just mark. So we're just gonna put our marks in here so we know where these pieces line up to. And then when we take everything apart, we just reuse the patterns we have because we know that they're already good. And you just wanna go through and I mark everything we can, top, bottom, left, right. Remember, left, right. If you're sitting on a motorcycle, your left's over here, your right's over here. Same thing here, we wanna do right. This is the top piece, front, left, and then you can put stuff like top stitch on here so you know where your top stitch is. And you just go through and you're gonna label all that stuff. And I'm gonna put back side here and front. This one I don't really have to put much on because it's pretty simple. And we just take it apart and dismantle it, and it goes a lot quicker than if you have to actually pattern stuff. A lot of times when we do a factory seat, we won't do it this way because a lot of times I don't trust the patterns you get from the factory. I would say now, this day and age, a lot of the seats you get are way better. Like you might get, you know, like a Saddleman seat or a Mustang seat or a Corbin seat, and for all these years, they're actually better. So they're actually better than some of the factory seats. So a lot of those ones are already symmetrical, which is really nice. And then this one here, let's pull this apart. And that's it, we're removing the staples. If you watch our videos, we show you how to remove staples. And also a lot of our stuff now If you want any of this stuff, any of those tools and equipment that we use, and you want to try this at home, you could actually watch our videos, learn how to do some of the stuff, go on our website, you can purchase a lot of these tools, and then do it yourself, which is kind of cool. And if you wanted to see what, so staples always go in the garbage. You never want to leave them on your workbench because you don't want to scratch anything. So this, if you're looking at your backrest and you're a Harley guy and you have one of these things, you wonder what it is. What's the magic behind there? All it is you got your material, a little pouch, and this tiny piece of foam with plastic in it. That's it. It's just there to give it a little puff so it looks like something. This really doesn't do anything. Your back doesn't touch it. All it ends up doing is hides there's a, from here to the seat, you can see the back where the rear package tray is. Rear package tray, I'm talking like a car here. But there's also sometimes wiring back here, and this hides that too. So you don't have that gap. That's all it is. It's just cosmetic, looks nice, and that's it. And then the same thing with the back here. I'm gonna put some marks in here. I'm not going crazy with our marks because, like I said, we already did this seat, and I know when I pull it apart, our alignment pins are already in there. And this is just a quick, easy way to do this. And I think what I'll do is on this video, I like to not repeat and do the same thing on every seat over and over again to make these videos too long. But on this video, I think what we'll do is on the actual seat, we're gonna go through and I'll show you how to modify it because his backrest is in a weird position and he wants to move forward a little bit. And we'll kind of talk about some of the issues people have. I find it odd a lot of times to move a rider forward on a touring bike, a Harley, like a 2010 and up, because unless you're 5'2" and really thin with like a shorter leg, it's usually not that comfortable. Because what happens is the more you push yourself forward, now your feet are forward, your hands are more forward, and you get kind of in a weird position. Some people do like that, like I call it like the big bird, where you're sitting really up on the bike, like a lot of guys back in the day and girls that used to ride the bikes with the beach cruiser bars. You know, those ones are out here, so you could sit upright like this. That kind of went away. A lot of people don't like that, but evidently some people do. This gentleman wants to sit forward a little bit, so I'm assuming he wants that. It's the end of the day. Here's Louis. Louis, come say hi to the camera.
Like, comment, subscribe, and if you want to see how to wrap a helmet, make sure to comment down below.
Did you hear me say, oh, I hate doing helmets? Nope. I'm like, I hate doing helmets, so we're not going to show you how to do it because I don't want people to send their helmets in the wrap. Although, we're going to teach Louis how to wrap helmets, and then you can send us 1,000,000 helmets, and he'll just sit there and do it, and then he'll tell you why he hates helmets.
That's fine, you know why? Guess who's going to be sewing it?
So I'm going to have to go through and be kind of quick on this one because we are running out of time. We got a lot of stuff to do, and I had to go and bring my wife and daughter to the ferry so they could go to Black Island. Do you know how hard it is on a nice day after it's been raining so long to bring someone to a ferry on the ocean in the morning and then have to come back to work? It's torture, but we're here. So anyway, here's the seat. So you can see this material ripped here. So one of the reasons we do not offer a lot of this material is everything you see here. So if you want it custom, you want that shock factor like he does, sometimes you have to take risks. So you get this stuff and you use it for when you can, and then you know you're gonna have to replace it. This stuff here, like I said, was more of a tableclothy material, and obviously it rips really easy. I mean, it's like paper. So it's tough to do it, and you can see from the sunlight, wherever the stitching is, it's starting to stretch. It almost is moving like a veg tan. So this whole thing is ready to come apart. One thing I do want to show you, so you'll hear me say a lot of times when we're patterning it. To pattern this, just take it apart, pattern it, and use it, and not have to pattern from scratch is a lot easier than taping it, making a pattern and all that. So when you say we want to modify your seat, I want to show you quickly, very quickly, how simple modifications change everything, right? So this customer has this backrest, an aftermarket backrest, and it's pushing forward here. He wants to go forward, which works out good because we have to make this forward more. So we have our pattern. If I took this pattern off and reuse this now, we're gonna have this big gap here with this even farther forward. And as you can see, it's already a big gap. So we're gonna have to modify this. I think what I'm gonna end up doing is actually taking this seam and bringing this seam back, which means now this is going to be part of this, which means I'm going to have to extend this. We're going to have to extend this here. And the big thing I want to show you is a little seat mod. So if I wanted to take this cover, let me see if I could just cut this out. Actually, I'll cut it this way. I'll cut it out here, right? So now, when I say a little bit of change, it changes the whole pattern. This is going to show you point in case, right? So if we're going to add an inch of foam to this, so say you're to say, just push me forward an inch, right? Just an inch. An inch isn't a big deal, right? We're going to take some of this foam here. I'm just going to use it to show you. By moving this forward just an inch, just use this as an example to show you. So what you think is a simple seat mod, push this forward an inch, right? So technically, this is going to move this seam here and bring this up. So now, if you look, everything is different, right? This pattern doesn't lay nice. It's not going to connect to this pattern. This pattern is going to be too short because what we're going to have to do is, I'm going to trim this across here. Now we're going to have to extend this pattern an inch forward, which changes all this. So at that point, you're basically like, you're making a new pattern. And then it goes from a simple job, quick and easy, to basically redoing everything and changing things up. So I have finished, well, I finished this helmet up. I have one more to do. I got the rear helmet to do. Louis is actually body working it for me because there was all those little glass beads all over it. So he's shaving those off and filling them. We're going to do that. I wanted to, while I'm waiting for him, just give a shameless plug because I went to put this helmet together and it had the old pinch edging on it, which is this black shiny stuff, which we use a lot too. We usually put this around the edge of motorcycle seat pans. And I don't like to reuse it because there's a glue inside there. And once you peel it off, it's kind of useless. And then I was like, well, I wanted to use something better. And then I remembered we still had some Kohl's products here. And those of you who watch our automotive channel know that we did a lot of work last year with Kohl's products with some social media posts. So I wanted to give them a shout out. You can get this stuff anywhere. They have it at every major parts store. They have it at Walmart, online. If you order this direct from Kohl's, make sure that you tell them that I referred you, Eddie Barrett from Atomic Cycle Works, Atomic Auto Works. They'll know who I am. But next time you need this stuff, they're out there. And I actually like this better because we had the truck one, and the truck one's a little bit bigger, so it gives it a better edge around the edge of this helmet. The other helmet came with a heavier one. This is a pretty heavy duty one, so I don't know if we're going to reuse this one. We probably will. We might end up using the Kohl's products just because I really like the look of it. It's a little bit flatter. It's not too big, not too small. Sometimes when you pull these apart and we rewrap them, because the original helmet didn't have vinyl on it, and even though it's very thin, by the time you take a 1/16 of an inch, you go all the way around a giant radius, you actually add quite a bit. So there's a possibility that when we get to the end of this one, it's going to be too short. So we might use the other one. Actually, one other thing I wanted to say while I'm waiting. So this material here, again, I've said in this video that we don't supply this stuff. You have to get it, and we will wrap it, but we don't warranty it because we can't. And you see the reasons why we showed you in this video. One thing that made it very difficult with this is, even though a lot of people will use the fact that this is very busy with all the different patterns and designs, and they'll just randomly put panels together, I don't like to do that. I like to make sure I center one set of strips, and we do that through the whole bike. So if you start at the front seat, we started with this one row, and it goes through the bike, through the rear seat, through the backrest, and even on the helmets. So I like to keep it that way. Another thing I like to do is try to do a mirror image of it. So if we're going to make this symmetrical, I want to make sure this design is the same as this one. So you see as it rolls around here, you see a little bit of the same pieces as they go around. This was not easy on this material because when I take our pattern and made it symmetrical, normally you just fold it in half and then everything will line up. Well, this pattern is not really that consistent. These things are staggered a little bit. So when you actually flip it over, it's off, which makes it really tough because you want to be able to cut on the same spot of each of these so it looks the same. And it made it really tough because you can't have a symmetrical pattern and have the pieces in the same spot. Bit of a challenge. All right, so just like that, we have the seat wrapped, 2 backrests, 2 helmets. We got 1 helmet actually in back here with his extra material, which there really wasn't much left over. So there wasn't much left. We thought there was going to be a lot more material left over, but there wasn't. Now, hopefully this goes to show you, if you purchase your own materials, a little bit of what's involved with us having to do it, and knowing what you're going to get. So with this type of material, if you bring it to us, obviously you know now we can't warranty it. You see the reasons why. But a lot of people actually like this Louis Vuitton material, and we get a lot of people who are interested in it, but I won't buy it and put it on a bike myself. So if you buy it, send it to us, we'll wrap it, but it's possibly going to rip. If it gets a lot of sunlight, it could dry out. This stuff is weird. I heat it up, it stretches really nice, get all the wrinkles out, and then when it dries, it actually gets hard again. So it's actually, you hear that? It's kind of a hard material. So it feels kind of like a tablecloth, like an outdoor tablecloth, so it's smooth, but when it's heated up, it's fine. So in the sunlight, it's probably going to be nice. Thank you for watching the video. If you remember, please like, share, subscribe, follow, ring the bell to be notified of any of our new videos. And the next one, I don't know if we're going to be able to do this bike because we're running out of time, but we are going to be making a full seat pan and doing a full seat from scratch on it. So I will hopefully get that on film.